I personally love this woman. She is a pillar in our community and in the Bronx community. She's part of the Bronx board. She does the Miss The Essence show. She also does, hold on, let me get my, is that Miss The Essence? She's about to join us. Yes, Miss The Essence. Hi, my beautiful sister queen. Let me get you to join us. Hold on. Did you put in the request? Let's see. Okay, I want to accept my request, Miss The Essence. I was speaking to our viewers a little bit about you, telling them how amazing you are. Such a phenomenal woman. And we're just waiting for you to join us. Mm. All right, Miss The Essence, we're waiting for you, my love. Let's see. Should I stop this and come back? I don't know. Am I having technical difficulties, or you're not getting the request to join, Miss The Essence? There she is.
Hi,
Hello.
baby.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Trying to like take it all in that I'm finally on my spring break.
Yes,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Yeah, sometimes to like decompress and unplug for a little while. It's been a rough year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. And I
Yes.
just been trying to like play my part and stay in my lane, but you're always in thought. Please know
Thank you.
that.
I appreciate that. Thank you first
How's
and
everything
foremost for
going?
everything's going good. Like, in spite of all the madness, like I always, I hold on to my faith. That's all I have, really, that faith. God is my
Absolutely.
rock. God is my rock. And, so because of that, it's what helps me get through a lot of these challenges and, everything that I've been through. But I don't want to talk about me because this is not about me. This is about you, woman. The tables have turned. It's
They
like a
have.
full circle moment. Like you're the one
It
that's
sure
always interviewing
has.
other people, and today we're interviewing you. So I want to
Thank
begin
you.
by saying thank you so much for joining us. We are honored and humbled to have you. You are such a pillar. I was just sharing with our viewers. You're not only a pillar in the Bronx. You're just a pillar in the community. Period. In general.
Oh, thank
Period.
you. Period. Like when they gotta recognize, right?
That's right. They better recognize because you've been in the game for a long time. Let's talk a little bit about that. Like, when did you realize that you were interested? Like, what drew you to the TV and radio personality? What drew you to that?
It all started at the age of 13, you
What?
know?
Look at that.
Yes, actually 12. I want to say 12. I was the only
Wow.
child. So I was alone a lot in my room and I loved celebrities. I grew up in the 90s, so there was a lot of like videos,
Mm-hmm.
showing out video shows. There was a lot of talk shows during the day after school, in the morning. Like that's what we saw. We listened to a lot of radio.
Of
I was
course.
that girl calling in tonight on a Friday night to get a request
Yes.
in. Like waiting to press that like, record button to hear my voice if I made it. Just
Right.
craziness. And I just fell in love with it. I was the only child, and that's what I went to as a friend. That's what entertained me. That's why I felt safe. And I loved how these people that you grew up watching or liked, somebody became best friends with them just off of a radio show, and that person was coming back with new people, and it just was amazing. And then from the radio, it went into television because when I went to college, I had a TV production class that I was taking, and I fell in love with being in front of the camera. I was so shy. I would have never thought this would become me. And then it just turned on to television. And then ever since then, when I came back in the business, like for sure, I started off with the radio because that's my first love. To this day is my love.
Yeah.
But then I started to find myself and find my groove and said, wait a second, I might have a little more to offer than sitting behind a microphone. I mean, I love the voice, but And I kept having people for years tell me, Diaz, you sure you want to be on radio? You sure you don't want to be on TV? Me? No, I just want to be a radio host. That's it. That's it. And here we are now. Here we are now after this reality that is no longer a dream, but I still call it my dream. It's my baby. And now, you know, I've been doing the show for 5 years, this May by myself. We went from Nightline Radio, which was satellite radio, online streaming. And I started with a co-host there. And then I ended up having my own show with a co-host, and then I ended up being a one-woman show, and it's been like that for 3.5 years. Yes.
Yes, queen.
Yeah.
One-woman show. That's right.
Yes.
You own that shit.
I do. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
That's right. I love it. I love you. I admire your work.
Thank you, babe.
I'm just
Hi,
curious
guys.
to know, like, where do you get your drive from? Like, how do you come up with your content?
Content for me sometimes is hard. I don't feel so creative as I maybe expect to be, or maybe how people think. But I've had a lot of times to kind of sit down and watch other shows and kind of have therapeutic sessions for myself and my healing. So now I think with the time off, I've had a change of heart, a change of life, a change of living in some sort of sense. And that's brought new content just of who I become. Like, I don't really sit here. Yeah, I don't really sit here and say, but when it gets to my GetInLine rants, yeah, I'm actually sitting there writing what is pissing people off. I'm listening to shows and getting content from them and trying to make it mine. You know, I never want to be like, oh, she got that from the real and she's not real. No, it's not that. But we're we're all influenced somehow by one another, and nobody's content or information is like original or they have made it up. You know, we've learned, we've experienced, we express, we switch it up, make it our style, and it gravitates to who your audience is. For them, it might be something new. To you, it may be something old. So that's kind of what the journey's like. Yeah, it's been a long journey, baby.
I know. Believe me, I could only imagine. The thing is, you know, you said something that resonated with me. Content, like, we can always be, it's a little challenging to become creative, because I do, you know, empowerment, women empowerment group, and every month I bring new issues. I bring new workshops, and I have to think of, okay, women issues. What can I do this month? How can I empower the women this month? So after a while, it does become very challenging, because I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I get myself into?
Yeah, and sometimes you.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I love what I do. Like, don't get me wrong. I love empowering the women all over the world, not just in our community. I love women empowerment. That is my baby. But you're right. Coming up with that concept sometimes is like, But it made me think about what you said, because you said that you had the time off because of the quarantine, obviously, because we was all under, you know, the lockdown for the quarantine and the coronavirus, the COVID, you know, the Rona. So my next question to you is, how did you pivot, and how challenging was that? Because, you know, as being so proactive as a TV host and production and doing all of this stuff, and all of a sudden you're on lockdown, how did you pivot and still stood relevant and started to figure out what to do during that difficult, challenging time?
It was a journey. And I went through a lot of different emotions. Mm-hmm. I was hit like, Dio, are we going to keep doing this? You know, I was hit with like, is this ever going to really happen? Is this something I should be still going after? How long am I going to do this for? There was definitely a moment of that. Then there was a moment of feeling guilty because I wasn't catering to the show so much, because our studio was locked down. I saw a lot of people on Instagram doing what everybody's doing, and I just didn't. I got turned off, you know, and I respect everyone who's picking up a phone and doing it. So I've met amazing people. I see what people are capable of doing. You know, I get to connect with individuals that I love, like you, and I know who's real and who's just doing it to do it. But it still kind of stings when it's your baby and people are just kind of jumping on, not really putting in the work and saying, hi, I'm, you know, blah, blah, blah. And their followers are up. They're getting guests that maybe they don't even work for. They just know, you know, so it was a lot of that. And then there was the fitness journey that kind of took the fire. Yeah, man.
You jumped ahead of my question.
Because, you know, a lot of it happened because of that. It's all good. You're on point. That means you got your questions good.
That was going to be my next question to you, because I was just going to ask you. Obviously, because we all had this extra time, some people used it wisely to create more content, or some people that not even had a business. This was a good thing. If they created their own business during this,
Yes.
difficult pandemic. I noticed, because I follow you and I love you, and we always in some type of communication. I saw that you started this health and fitness journey, and I was like, "Go, Misty Essence." So my question to you was going to be, like, was that as a result of you wanting to turn this negative into a positive, and you felt like you had all this extra time? Because we could have done the complete opposite and became a big house and just been like, ha, 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 eating everything because we home, we Netflixing and chilling. Like, we're depressed a little bit, because come on, who's not going to be a little bit depressed? We all had to have gone through that little phase, right, of a
Of
little
course.
sadness or depression, like, oh my God, is this really happening? We're stuck at home, and the challenges. What were some of those challenges? But also, what was some of your, I feel like, the greatness that came out of your challenges?
Well, the essence, believe it or not, is very introverted, and I love being home.
Mm-hmm.
I love being home. So I've been at my most peace. And there's days I go through stuff emotionally or just mental. Like today, I'll be honest with you, this whole week, my energy has just been off.
Mm-hmm.
Like my energy, my just everything has been low, but I still go out and go take my walks, and I go take my hike, and I attempt to work out, and I'll do things around the house, and I'll put on a show and commit to you. So it's like, you kind of find a balance of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I love being home. So being quarantined to me is not a problem. It still isn't a problem. But it did put a dead stop into my momentum that was going. I had a lot of things riding that were
Mm-hmm.
going to come for 2020. I was going to be more out there. Like I was excited, like I am every year.
Right.
And to go from the recording studio to home and do things online, it just wasn't my thing. I couldn't connect to no one. I couldn't meet no one. But at the same time, I've met numerous individuals that are in places that I would have never gotten to the Bronx. That's number one. Two, it has given me the downtime to figure out if this is really what I want to do and how I'm going to do it.
Right.
I also picked up the fitness as God-given. That was in the very beginning. I'm actually making a year of just drinking water, but tonight I am having my wine.
Yes, girl. It's a wine kind of night. It's not just
I need
sunshine.
some sugar in my life, you know what I
That's
mean?
right. Good for you.
Yeah, and that became its own journey. And the way I felt about myself, I started to evaluate my life, how I was living, what I was eating, who I was around, what I was doing. It was like, has made a whole new essence. And now I'm back at the show and I'm excited. I don't know for what, but I am putting in some work behind the scenes, trying to do new things. I am trying to connect with producers and people that are really in the business to kind of get this show on the road, because, now it's been 6 years. It's not a long time. I still have work to do. Trust me when I say that. And I'm not in a rush to have my own show, and I trust my journey and I love my journey. But there's a point in your career that you're like, okay, I need to start like either working in the industry, like for real, to like branch myself out in a professional way, or the show got to pick up to pay me. Like
Right.
something got to give. You know
I
what I
feel you.
mean? So the quarantine was a lot of thought process, and I actually had a lot of anxiety, like
Mm-hmm.
that's in the air for a bunch of us, and I kind of try to tackle that. And a past situation that I had that I wasn't really dealing with, and now it's 5 years I'm out of it, and I'm dealing with it like it's yesterday, and that's the hardest thing. So it's been a lot, but it's been blessings.
Well, let me tell you something. That's okay. If it came up 5 years later, that's a beautiful thing
Mhm.
that it came up, because that's going to help you to unpack it and to deal with it and then to release it. I've been doing a lot of praying and meditating during this time, and I've been tapping into a lot of my trauma. And boy, did I have some trauma, which was what was triggering that anxiety. You think like, oh, there's nothing wrong. Why am I getting anxiety out of nowhere? And it's your body releasing these
God.
things, letting you know that there is some underlying condition that we've never addressed. And trauma tends to, unfortunately, it tends to cling on to our organs. Did you know that? Kidneys, heart, all of that. Trauma tends to cling on to that. And it can be child trauma. It can be, adolescent trauma. It tends to, and we push, we think we're just getting by when you're young and you're pushing things to the side, and then it just catches up to you out of nowhere. And it's like, boom, you got hit with a wave. And
Yeah.
you're like, what the heck? Where's this coming from? when everything
Yeah.
is beautiful in your life and you just don't have it's stuff that was unresolved. So I just want to encourage you to show yourself grace. Don't be so hard on yourself. If it's something that you're dealing with from 5 years ago and it came up, it's because it needs to be addressed. You need to address it. You need to pray about it, meditate, and release it. And I think that you'll
That's
get your healing.
that's the journey. That's the journey. That's why I'm always online just trying to share the healing process, because I didn't understand what that was. I didn't even know how to start. Like, that was scary for me, and it still is.
Mm-hmm.
But I've given myself grace. There, you are going to have times that you're going to reflect on the past when you're letting go. You are going to think about the person from time to time. You may miss the person from time to time or miss what you had. Doesn't mean that you want to be with the person or you haven't gotten over it. It's just part of your life, especially if you spend 10 to 25 years with somebody, whether you have kids or not. Like,
Exactly.
you know, I'm not just talking about like being in a relationship, but like you just deal with things, and sometimes you try to move on, or from a job. It could be anything. I say expiration ships. We need to start letting go of them.
Right.
And I love that man you were speaking, because you just gave me something that I can hold in my heart and be like, okay, I got my thing for the day. So thank you for that.
Of course, you know I love you, Queen. So I wanted to speak a little bit. I'm happy that we spoke about your health and fitness journey. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. You've been consistent. You've been like busting your hump, and I'm sure you got to where your goal weight is, right? Because in my opinion, I don't think you need to lose that 1 more pound.
I went 2 under. I'm trying to gain my way back.
Yay! You want to
Just
gain
a little bit, but some
I
tone,
know,
yeah.
girl, we Latinas, like black and brown folks, built different.
I lost all the Latina-ness to me, girl.
Listen, let me say, my doctor told me the other day, he was like, oh, you like, I think he said like 10, 15 pounds overweight. And I looked at him and I was like, according to the BMI of the American standards, I said, honey, you need to get yourself a standard for black and brown. We built different. He started laughing. He thought I was kidding.
It's true.
I was like, I'm not kidding. There needs to be a different BMI for Latinos, for black and brown people, because we born built. We got babies that are born 8, 9 pounds. We just born different. Our bones and our structure is different. So
absolutely. No, absolutely.
Tone and thick, you know, I don't mind
yes,
being thick, but I want it to be toned, you know. So,
exactly. Like, even sometimes when I go to other countries, even in Jamaica, let's say, the little girls, they're built. They got little women girl bodies.
Like, little Puerto Rican girls too. You go to Puerto Rico,
yeah,
already. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
And I'm
that's
like,
just
how culture.
That's just how they're built. They're built like that.
We
exactly.
We built different.
Get in line.
I love that. That was another thing I was going to ask you. You know, when I put your flyer together, I put a quote and then I hashtag your Get in Line.
I just see that.
Come up with that from, because you love that's your thing. Like, you're known for that. That's like me to walk in your purpose, and you know.
Yeah, that's the hashtag. That's the motto. That's the brand. You know, Get in Line. It is trademark, so don't even try it. That was just a petty joke. It was just me being the new girl in town and just telling people, get it back in the line, get it back in the line, for whatever reason. It was something I would just say. And my director, Danny Silva, who's also my security and work hubby and all that, he goes, why don't you just be like, yo, get in line? And we were like, huh? Get in line. And it stuck.
I love it.
It's been stuck on everybody. Like, it's become a thing. I've had people tell me, get in line. You know, like, it's very sassy. It's about it. It doesn't have to be nasty, and it doesn't have to be nice. It could be however you want.
It can. That's what I love about it. It can go either way. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lifestyle. It's like, get in line with yourself. Haters, get in line. You know, get in line with Lord. Get in line with, you know, your universe. Like, just get in line. Check yourself. How about that?
I wanted to speak to you a little bit about, like, your networking skills are freaking off the hook. Like, they're tight.
Oh, girl.
How do you come up with, like, I've noticed that you've had on your show underground artists, such as my son Beat Boy, which, you know, soon he's gonna be underground. He gonna be up. But we're
both trying to be up. I'm trying to have him on my set and be like, yo, what up? You remember the days?
That's right. So
you watch.
You get your underground artists, but you also get your known artists. How do you manage to do that? How do you come up with these? How do you get those contacts? How do you get
Monique? I really, you know, like, when you're in the right place and when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing from God, Amen. The universe, whatever you want to say, you can't explain it. I can't explain the passion. I can't explain the fire. I can't explain how humble I am. That's just me in general. I
Mm-hmm.
don't come from a family of industry people.
Right.
I come from very hardworking parents, but nobody in the industry. I know nobody famous. So
Mm-hmm.
me coming out with this dream to be on radio, it was like who, what, why, and how.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say it is by the grace of God that I become the woman that I am. And it hasn't been easy. I don't even remember the first person I ever reached out to, but I do know that when I first came in, Danny Silver of Nightline took me under his wing after Monty Torres started working with me because I knew him from Hot 97. He was Angie Martinez's like sidekick. And
Mm-hmm.
then they parted ways because she went to 105 and he's doing PR work and all that good stuff too. Danny Silver brought me in because he had connects in the whole fever, the whole
Mm-hmm.
freestyle world. And freestyle was my childhood. So when he's like, oh my God, I know TKA and I know Sal Abatello and I know Coro and Judy Torres and like Cynthia, I'm just like, oh, I get chills right now because I'm like, oh my God, this is my whole childhood. I can't believe this. And he brought me in and he promoted the shit out of me, Monique. Like, you met Danny. He
Mm-hmm.
introduced me to everybody. This is the Austin's radio host. Don't forget her. He was pushing me and he liked me too. So he was pushing extra hard, you know? I
I
said
love
it.
it. I
And
love
I'll
it.
still say it. You know? So through that kind of, I was playing my part, very humble, quiet, tranquilo, chilling. And then I just kept being present. And then I got to know people. And then I saw how people were responding to me. And then I don't know. I can't really tell you. But you know what I have to tell you is that I do it all by myself. And it's frustrating at times. There's times I'm overlooked. There's times that because nobody knows who I am, they're kind of like, you know, I've been
I
waiting
feel like a
sometimes
lot of
two and a
people
half
know who
years.
you are. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I have to
I'm talking about
disappear.
like big. I'm talking about like big people, Monique. I'm talking about like artists that we listen to and their managers in LA, and they dealing with like, you know, they dealing with radio stations. They dealing with ABC, NBC,
Right, right.
VH1. They're not trying to deal with DSN show on BronxNet or wherever I'm at right now. You know
Don't
what I
speak that.
mean?
Don't speak that trash into the universe. That is
I
a lie.
know, but that's just
We
how I feel
no.
sometimes. You know.
That. And you're gonna do the exact opposite. You're gonna say, I'm
Because,
on my
but
way.
you know what? You know what? You're absolutely right because I record at BronxNet, but the show is on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Like
You're
it's
on your
on
way, sis.
not.
You live in
Yeah,
abundance and you're on
yeah.
your way. You're on your way
Thank
to get your
you.
own show like Oprah Winfrey. I can see you having
Woo,
your own
woo,
The Essence
woo.
show. I mean,
That's the goal.
you already have your own Miss The Essence show on Bronze Network, but I can see you going larger than that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
I could just see it. You have everything, what it takes. You have the personality, you have the
Thank
charisma,
you.
you have the
Thank
beautiful
you.
spirit, you have it
Thank
all. And
you.
you have the experience. Like you've been on radio and you've been doing this
Yeah,
production with the Essence show.
yeah.
You have it, baby girl. So speak that into the universe. You speak that into existence. You declare and decree that. You know what I'm saying?
Woo!
Because that's what you got to do. And I know, Queen, it gets difficult. Trust me, I know. Because I have my own platform and I also have the Beat Boy stuff that I do. And then I have a wife to play. And then I got to teach in the
Yeah,
morning.
it's a
So
lot.
I wear a lot of different hats too. And sometimes it does get overwhelming. And there's times, I'm not going to lie, during the pandemic, I had a moment where I felt like, what am I doing? Like, should I just throw in the towel for this
Yeah,
woman empowerment stuff? Because I'm
yeah.
like exhausted. And I'm like,
No,
you go through those phases. It's a little
you do.
discouraging. It's not easy to be a leader, girl. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy.
No.
When you're a leader, it's challenging. But that's the beauty of it because when you tap into your resources, the thing is, we have to learn that it's okay to ask for help because that's the problem as a leader. We don't want to ask for help. We have to learn that it's okay to ask for help, that it's okay to tap into our resources, that it's okay to tell your partner or whoever you're with or your parents,
Yes,
whoever your loved one is like, hey, listen, I need a moment or I need your support in this area. I'm tired, whatever. This must be
absolutely.
energetically, it must have been that type of week because this whole week I had a rough time. Remember, I just buried my brother 3 months ago, so it's still fresh. I have my moments where I cry for him and I'm upset because the lady hasn't been arrested. Like I'm going through my own crap. And even though I'm going through my own crap, I'm still trying to keep this positive mindset and try to remember that everything's going to be okay and that, maybe she might not get time here on earth, but she's going to meet that maker one day, girl. You know what I'm
Yes, she
saying?
is.
So
Yes, she
regardless of
is.
what, there's going to be some type of judgment there. There's going to be some type of
Yes.
consequence for her action,
Absolutely.
for her reckless
And
action.
and time actually heals, and just let God work. And like I said, put up
Exactly.
your prayers.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I did. I was
Yeah.
playing, but I was feeling like you, tired and just energetic. I was off this week. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Well, the time change to me has made me horrible for the last 2 weeks. I've been telling myself, get in line, D, get in line. I'm tired. What's going on? And I'm thinking it's a time change. Like, I'm getting too
I,
old for this. Like,
I
when are they
think
going to
so
just cut
too.
it
They need
off?
to stop. They need to stop with the time change. Just
Stop.
leave us right here during this day. Leave
Sit.
the daylight. This is the way I like it. Keep it just this way all year round, 365 days a year. Because I'm tired of the back and forth. It gets
Thank
depressing. I
you.
wanted to ask you really quickly. How does your parents
Yeah,
feel
baby.
about this? Like when you chose this as your career, like you chose this as your life, because it literally becomes your life. Were they supportive? Because they're
Um,
kind of like old school, your parents, right?
oh yeah, to a point. My parents are very dope.
I know
Very
they are,
dope.
girl, but how
Yeah,
were
they're
they?
very dope. When I was 12, my father was like, "Go for it." My father was always listening to music. He was in that. And my mom was like, "But I thought you wanted to be a lawyer." And I was like, "No, that's out the door." And they both was just like, "Okay, no
That's
problem."
good.
And I
So
went
you
to
had
school
their
for
support.
it. Oh, and to this day, my
That's
father doesn't get
awesome.
too involved in it. I think he's more of a person that when I have something really serious coming on, that's when I talk to him about things. Because this right
Mm-hmm.
now is not serious for me. It's like what I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is everything. My momager, my pusher.
I
When
love
I don't
it.
get upset about something, she's upset about it. And sometimes I have to tell her, Mom, this is not for you to internalize. Well, why the hell they didn't call my baby up? And why the hell he's shouting this one out when you're the princess of the Bronx? Like she goes in.
I
And I'm
love
like,
it.
Mom, you can't be
Teen
like
mom. I
this.
get it. Trust me, I'm a mama, so I get it.
Yeah,
It's
she
that
like
mama
takes it.
bear.
Yeah, she always takes it in. But I chose not to have children. I decided not to be a mom. This is my baby. I am the only child, so she was heartbroken about that. But my mom overall just wants me to be happy. And she's with me through the whole process. She sees the happiness, she sees the excitement, she sees the crying, the frustration. She sees it all, and she's
Aw.
just there. She's just like, keep going, baby, keep going. So. Hi guys, everybody's up
Yes,
here.
Carmen, the
Yes,
community artist, said it's always helpful to have supportive parents. Yes,
it is. And let me
I
and let me tell
concur.
you, the ones that their parents don't support or don't believe, it's okay. Just
Mhm.
do it anyway. Do it
Exactly.
anyway.
Let me tell you
It's your
something.
vision. It's your vision. It's not nobody else's vision to believe in, to be excited for, to support. Ain't nobody owe that to you. This is what you want to do. You do it.
It's
But
your yes.
hold on, Monique. I guarantee that the minute you make it to their status, oh, that is like, yeah, I'm going through
Mhm.
that too with people that I know, not family.
That's how it is, unfortunately, but it's okay because you know what I say? I say that's how you know you're dreaming big. If you're not dreaming big, everybody's going to be all for you, like on your team. But the minute you start dreaming so big that they can't see your vision, that's okay because that's when that you're walking in your purpose and that you're doing what God has called you to do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's a beautiful thing. That comes with a lot of challenges. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be
No.
worth it. You know?
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's
I'm
like
so excited.
the most I could say is like if you have a passion, you can't control it. Even when you want to give up, you can't. It's like having a child. Do you give up on your child? Do you just not love your child anymore? Like everything you do is for your
I like that
child, right?
analogy.
So
I like
it's
that
true.
analogy. You're absolutely right.
That's what it feels like. I'll fight for it. I'll cry for it. I pray for it. I work for it. I breathe it. Like, yeah, it's part of my day.
That is your child.
Me
Yeah.
on Instagram and promoting stuff, that's me feeding my baby. Yeah, that's me feeding. And
That's
that gets
right.
frustrating too because right now, and I'm not sure if Monique has any experience, but there's a lot of algorithm that is messing up our flow of social media right now.
A lot of what?
Because algorithm,
Oh, yeah,
algorithm. Am
algorithm.
I saying that right?
Algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry if I'm
algorithm.
saying that right.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay.
And that's messing with us a lot for the ones that are trying to do things socially because half of you don't even see what I'm putting out, and meanwhile my content is up all day every day.
That's crazy.
Sometimes you got to go to someone's page to be like, where are they? And meanwhile, they just posted 2 hours ago. I didn't see your post.
Wow. That's, yeah, I hate
So
that. What's that
yeah,
about?
I
I think
have no idea.
yeah, that's not okay. They need to do better. They need to do better. This world, girl, we all need to do better collectively.
Yes.
Cause
Actually, yes, a
listen,
village is needed.
enhanced by nature. Yes, so true. Yes, enhanced. Big shout out to enhanced by nature. By the way, this woman is another pillar, man. This woman has her
Oh.
own body scrubs, foot scrub,
Oh.
body wash, all natural. She uses all natural, handmade, and she did this because she's. If I mean, I'm sure she wouldn't mind me sharing this part of her story. She shared it one time at our group. She did this because she's a cancer survivor. So she did a lot of research and realized that a lot of the creams that we put on our bodies have chemicals like bomb chemicals and all types of random chemicals, and that's how you can catch breast cancer and all kinds of things. So once exactly, Queen. So I buy all my stuff from her. I just literally purchased my foot scrubber and my body cream from her because it's all natural. And
Oh.
girl,
I'm gonna
it
check her
smells
out. I'm
it
gonna
smells
check her out.
amazing. I'm gonna tag her after we're done with our interview. I'm gonna tag her so you can check out, and I'm gonna post the stuff that I received right on time for Tranquil Thursday. I was yesterday, girl. I was using her foot scrub, and I was putting the lotion on my body after I shaved. I was feeling real good. I was like,
Oh.
yes, for Tranquil Thursday. So I gotta give her a
Ooh,
shout
you
out.
want to get in line before I tell Jay.
Yes, yes. And her hair too, yes. And our hair too. She has products for hair. Yep. So I'll
Okay,
tag
I'm
you in
gonna
the
check that out.
video, Queen. But yeah, so shout out to all our womenpreneurs, man. Let me tell you something. Even though we still have some more uh, obstacles to break down and some ceilings to break, you know what I'm saying? Even though we still have some more, I have to say that we've come a long way as a womanhood, you know, and as a sisterhood. We have come a long way. Thanks to our ancestors that came before us,
Yes.
those fearless women that came before us, and they fought for us. They were resilient. They fought for women's rights. Thank you. Thank you to our ancestors. But we are the next generation. We need to keep the torch going. You
That's
know, how
right.
do you feel about that?
I'm appreciative as well because it gave me a voice. I'm able to have a show and speak my mind. Even do things independently as well. I feel empowered, but we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot
Mm-hmm.
of work to do. And us females have a lot of work to do within ourselves, in
Mm-hmm.
our relationships, and with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So we can take pride and we can salute, which I do, but there's a lot of females out here that not they just
We
not
got to
up to
get in line.
par. They got to get in line because a lot of us are saluting the woman and we're not being saluting the men, and we're saying that the men are not really up to par, and that's because the females ain't up to par too
Exactly.
sometimes. What I'm trying to say is the females are the best. Yes, we can do it all. Saludos to all of us, but we got work to do as well. And as women, we need to kind of start working on ourselves and start working with ourselves to have better relationships in our home, to have a love
Where's
that
the
Monique
microphone?
has.
Damn it. I need a microphone. Say it louder so they can hear you in the back. Because you know what? I
Say
love
it
women.
out.
I love women. And I'm all about empowering women. But what I don't like, and it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth, was when I see women tearing men down, talking trash about them all the time. Oh, we don't need you. Oh, I'm a this, I'm a that. Okay, guess what? That is not the energy that's not going to get you your partner, because you're
No,
throwing out that negative energy. You're right. We need God.
we
He's the
don't
one
need
that we need.
anyone but God.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly. But it doesn't mean it is biblical that you have to be equally yoked. And I have to say that I am blessed. And you know my husband, sis. You've seen him with me. I am blessed to have an amazing king by my side. Shout out to my husband, Jay. I love you, my love.
She's
Thank
the
you for always being
gangster.
supportive. That's my king.
She's
You know how
the gangster. Don't get it twisted.
who's the gangster?
You the gangster. He's just there rocking with you like, doo-doo-doo. I love you guys. I love you
No,
guys.
because that's my ride or die, and that's why I'm not into the tearing the man down. That's not what this woman empowerment stuff is about. This woman empowerment was really the point of this empowerment was to uplift our sisters, to encourage our sisters, to help them get out of those toxic relationships that are no good. And when I say toxic, I mean don't sit in a relationship and put up with a man beating you, cheating on you constantly, verbally abusing you. Those are the things that's toxic. That's what we say absolutely not. But then you got the men that are good. They're hard workers. They're providers. They're loyal. Cherish those men that are like that, man. Treat your king right. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Because
just it's just a crazy cycle. It really
it
is.
is.
And we
It's
just need
vicious.
to yeah, I don't know, we're in a vicious cycle, and I don't think we've been like proved wrong maybe. I don't know. But ladies, we just have to put our standards up. We have to demand what we need from a man. You know, there's only one way to up a man is by you upping yourself.
Exactly. And
You know,
also,
they're gonna follow whatever you allow them to
there you
follow
go.
and do.
And I was just gonna say that. And also, like, you gotta pour into your man. Like, you can't expect your man to always be like, "Oh, you're so beautiful." And all of this fades eventually, boo. We all gonna get old one day. I'm not into injections and all of that. Shout
Yeah.
out to whoever it is. God bless you. I'm not knocking nobody. I want to age gracefully. You know what I'm saying? Black don't crack and beige don't age. So I want to age gracefully.
Yo, I love her, yo. She's so, I tell you, she gangster. Don't let that pretty dress fool you.
No, but
It's
seriously,
so
like,
true, though.
I think that it's imperative that as women, we learn to pour into our men. You know, we learn to communicate with our men. You know, I'm still learning, and I've been with my husband for 28 years. Like, I try my best to keep my composure if I'm upset when I speak to him. And there's moments that I feel snappy and edgy, and I look at him and I'm like, babe, I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve that. I'm a little edgy today.
Yo,
You know, I check
those are
myself.
the, yeah, you have to check yourself. And it gets harder the more time you're with them. It really does.
Yeah,
It doesn't get
28 years,
easier.
girl. 28 years.
Everybody
Come on.
changes. At 28, everybody's changing in 28 years. And then you're having kids. And then it's a lot.
It
It's a
is.
lot. But
It
you
is.
guys made it through. So,
It's a blessing though. I love that man. Like I wouldn't trade him for nothing. Ain't nothing out there, girl.
oh,
I be saying they
who you
messy.
telling? Who
I'm
you
like, y'all
telling?
messy.
It's
These
supposed
men,
to be
but
5 years.
I think that men need to deal with their trauma too though. That's why it's a vicious cycle. Women need to heal
Absolutely.
and men need to heal. And sometimes it takes a woman to help a man heal. But if you're damaged, how are you gonna help somebody else that's damaged? So you have to
That's
heal
right.
first. And then once you heal, you can offer that healing to your partner and nurture him because
Absolutely.
women are by nature, we're natural born nurturers. You know what I mean? By nature. You know, God made us that way.
And the men need to start talking more too. The men
Yes.
need to start supporting each other because y'all go through the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, let's lead by example. Let's not sugarcoat stuff or just be a boy to hang out with. Like, let's be friends with each other. Let's talk about what's going on. You'll be surprised how many other men are going through the same exact thing. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
men don't feel like they have a voice at home, at work, you know, social
Mm-hmm.
media. It's like they're always being dogged. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, that's got to be kind of frustrating. Can you imagine just being characterized?
Yeah, that's
You
so
know,
sad.
like how do you stand out? But then we're like so molded to be used to these type of things that when a nice guy does come, it's not enough. You know,
Right.
because we already brought all that negative energy that we're trying to heal from. So I get
Exactly.
it.
And the
Yeah.
thing is, like, you know, it's definitely I that's why I try to encourage women. Like I'm not here to tear men down. This women empowerment is so that we can learn how to collaborate as women without that competitive freaking energy. Like compete with yourself. That's what you need to compete with. Be better today than you were even a week ago. All that competitive
Absolutely.
energy, I wanted to be um in a way, I wanted to be the one to help break those chains of like competitive energy, the cattiness. Like women can be very catty and all clicky. Like you want to hang out with a clique and treat other women indifferent.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to like come and break with this women empowerment, and I wanted to show that we can all come together and that there's power in unity. You know what I'm saying?
There
And we
is.
can collaborate, and if we all have gifts, we can like exchange gifts with each other, and that's how you build a freaking empire together. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
stop
well,
being crabs in a barrel.
no, I agree. And for the most part, we still have people like that regardless. But those are the people that you don't build with. Those are the people that are kind of lost causes. Everything that you mentioned, I don't have children, but I've been around kids and I sit in the park and watch these little rugrats. And I see them at the age of 2 of how they're acting. Very cliquish, don't play with us, or that's mine, or, a diva. Like, it's just in there. It's like in our blood already to be that way. Like, is that like a human thing to have a little bit of cattiness, to be a little bit of jealous, to be a little competitive? It's just you need to know how to control the damn thing and
But
not be a
also,
negative thing.
you're right. But I also think that in shout out, in answer to I'm answering enhanced by nature.
Yes.
We teach them to not express their emotions. I think she said. We
Yes.
teach,
That
we
we
teach
that
them,
we teach the
we
men
teach
not to
them not to
deal.
deal with emotions. So check this out. That is the sad truth. When you have boys, I didn't do this with my boys. That's why you love Kevin. And my boys, they always had a voice. I always taught them that it's okay to cry if they feel it. But it is a very black and brown community thing to be like, oh, you're a boy. Stop. You don't cry. Man up. And that, be
That's right.
quiet. No, I didn't do that. I was the complete opposite. In fact, I think I shared this with you before. My husband was like, babe, we're not white people. You can't be putting your kids on timeout. You got to whip their butt. I'm like, no, I'm not going to whip their butt because the crime, it has to be something ridiculous for me to whip their behind. They're not going to get whipped and popped every time they do something wrong. We're going to talk about this.
Right,
And we're going to
right.
teach them, you know, how to communicate. And so that's why it is very important that we teach our children from young, our kings from young, when they're little prince, teach them that it's okay to be in touch with your emotions, that it's okay to express those emotions, because how are you going to have, you as women, we're responsible for building these men up so that they can find
Yeah.
themselves a good wife. And then their
Yeah.
wife will be like, oh, wow, this is a real good man. He knows how to express his, he's great at communicating. He's great at showing his emotions to me. He understands my emotions when I'm on my monthly or I'm going through my little women, you know, thing. And he's supportive, you know, and that's one thing I'm so grateful for. My husband is that type of man. He was raised around his mother, his stepmother, and a bunch of female cousins. So
Wow.
so he's very in tune when it comes to women's emotions. So that's why I'm so grateful. He gives me that support. Like if I'm like on my monthly and I'm like sad or emotional, he goes, oh, come here, baby, you need a hug. He goes, which one? You're gonna get your, you know, you're on your monthly, you're gonna get it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be mean to you today.
That's all we need. Sometimes, you know, it's understanding a partner. Yes, your energy is also being empathetic. A lot of men are not empathetic, and a lot of females are not empathetic, you know.
Exactly. Because now the women have, it's like they switch, like the tables turn. Like the women have become cold and aloof, and they like want to treat men like crap. And I'm like, come on, girls, we got to get it together. We got to do better.
Yeah, I feel like whoever's not happy or has these things, get rid of them and start fresh all over again.
Right?
That's what I feel like saying to everybody.
Right, hold on. Somebody's saying something else. You know, I need to put on my glasses. Yes.
It's all good.
And the cat attitude that little girls have comes from the mother, or female adults that they see. That's the truth. That's where it comes from. Like, you really got to check yourself. You know, like, I wasn't a perfect parent. I was young. I was young when I had both my kids. But because I had my children at a young age, it kind of like forced me almost to like become an adult. You know what I mean? To become responsible. But I was very mindful of what I allowed my children to see, of what I said around my kids. I wouldn't even use profanity around my children. I would be like pissed, and I would be like, oh my God, I gotta bite my tongue. I can't curse. I don't want these little badasses cursing. You know
but check that out, because it worked as blessings, because now Beat Boy is not cursing in his music and making a powerful statement through the music.
Yes.
Because you brought him up not to curse, so he didn't believe in making music and cursing.
And I would literally be the type of parent, like a freaking helicopter mom, where I was supervised. I think I was playing. I would supervise what they was watching. Like, they couldn't watch TV unless I was like, you know, monitoring it. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to monitor the stuff that the TV.
We did, yeah.
Eyes. You got to monitor that stuff. And these parents, they let their kids watch whatever they want. They give them those little tablets for hours. There's no type of real engagement. Like, you have to keep your child engaged. Like, read to them, speak to them, take them out on freaking walks, you know,
play with them outside. They don't even want to leave the house at this point.
Like, come on, don't just sit them in front of a tablet all day, then you expect them to thrive. They're not going to thrive that way. I'm sorry. They're just going to become like robotic, you know?
Yeah. We just have a lot of work, and nobody can do it alone. It takes a village.
Yeah.
And, you know, just make changes. Only you are in charge of your happiness. Only you are in charge of your happiness.
And in charge of your story, too.
That's right.
Yes, of course, arts and crafts. I mean, I'm not an artist like Carmen, but let me tell you something. I used to paint a lot with the kids when they were younger, and color. I love to color. Painting and coloring. I can't draw for the life of me. That's not the type of artist that I am. I can't do no knitting or crocheting. I can paint your whole house, and I can do like some nice interior designing stuff. That's it. Party decorations, that's it.
I love it.
Poetry, that's the artistry that I have. Let me see.
I love it.
Oh my, I just was talking about kids are too exposed to the wrong things up the world.
There's no control. Like, when I was growing up, I had to be, you know, I had to be up before when those night lights went on, the street lights, I had to be upstairs. You know, I couldn't watch Dirty Dancing till like I was like 16. By the time I saw it, I was like, this is what you've been holding me back from watching. You know, like, my parents were very, they were open, but they were very like, structured. They treated me, they were structured, and they kept me where I was supposed to be. If I, you know, like, if I'm 10, 12, 11, 12, 13 years old, there's certain things I shouldn't be doing. There's certain things I shouldn't be listening to or hearing. You know, adult conversations, they were kept another place than in front of me. I was the only child. I was always around adults. But there was times that I had to go to grandmother's house and, you know, do some time over there while the parents did what they did. There's times I had to go behind the door and go to sleep, whether my mother had family, friends are over or not. You know, you just weren't allowed to just hang out with the adults and just chill out like the kids are doing now.
Listen,
they're growing up too fast.
Tight schedule. They could tell you I have my kids on a tight schedule.
Yeah, 9 o'clock I was in bed, off the phone. So my father was always like, you don't like it, then make your money and move out. There's nothing I could tell you. These are the rules. Like,
my kids were in bed by 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock they was in bed. 8:30 they was already snoring. That's it. Just Monday through Fridays. That's how it was, because I was working. They was going to school. So then we would come home. They would do their homework. And I would make sure that after they did their homework, we would spend time together, eat dinner together, pray. I'll read them a book. They'll take their showers, brush their teeth, and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? You
know what it is? Nobody's taking the time to structure. Nobody's, and the part of structuring, from what I see, not even being a parent, is consistency.
Yeah, of course.
And there's not a lot of consistency. There's a lot of parents I'm around that are not consistent.
That's sad. And I had a chart. That was before I even went into education. I already had a schedule. I must have been like born to be like an educator, because I already had a schedule, like a chore chart. This is Monday John, then Tuesday Hobby, because I got my bonus son. Then Wednesday Kevin, and it was like that. They had chores, and I would put little stickers. I would put little stars. Whoever had the most stars, they would get the prize at the end of the week. So if they did their chores without me having to tell them schedule, I would reward them. Like I had a reward system, positive. I will say positive affirmations. Positive affirmations.
It's all over the place.
The positive reinforcement, so like, I just, and it's crazy because there's no excuse. I was young, I was a young parent, so there's no excuse. I hate to hear that the excuses with these young, but I'm a young mother. Okay, so was I.
That's the problem. That's the problem. I don't,
I had my first son at 22 when I had my second son. And I was a young mother, but I still made sure.
Guys, I just see people repeating the same mistakes and then crying out wolf. And it's like, but you chose this. You chose this person. You chose this situation. You chose to stay here and then do it again. Like, are you crazy? Females, like, where's our standards? Like, if he's not treating you good with the first baby, why are you going to have another one with him? Like, I don't get it.
Exactly.
And then cry wolf, like, oh, he was cheating on me or whatever the case may be. But you knew this. You chose to have another baby with him.
Exactly.
Like, us females are a little loose too. Our mental states are not all there either, females. I don't know. Tell me, Monique, do you reach out to a lot of females, and do you see them like kind of like just scatterbrained, just all over the place?
You want to know what hurts my heart? To be honest, what really hurts my heart and really makes me sad, when they mistreat the kids. Don't mistreat the kids. Those kids didn't ask to come into this world. You know what I'm saying? If you chose to have a family, that means whether the man is there or not, that is still your family. Those are still your children. So you have to treat them with love and respect. Because you can't expect the kids to grow up and respect you if you didn't show them love and respect when they were growing up. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. And I can't see it, girl, because I be wanting to fight people. When I see them in the mall treating their kids like little toddlers, yelling and cursing at them, smoking a cigarette around them, and the smoke is going in the baby's face.
I know.
Oh my God, that breaks my heart. It makes me
I don't know. That just makes me feel like you hood, you ratchet, and you just don't care about nothing.
Why?
That's what's happening in the house too. When they're home, what do you think, that person's not smoking in the house and the kids just taking up all the smoke? It is what it is.
Yeah, it says she said, goes back to childhood trauma. Yep, not feeling worthy. It's so true. Yes, also.
So how do we fix this? So how do we fix this? This is the thing. We can talk and talk.
I think you and I need to collaborate, and we need to set up like a, kind of like a, ¿cómo se dice? Get a couple of people like on a panel and bring information and tell single mothers, especially single mothers, but both women or mothers to come out so that we can talk about doing workshops of how to communicate effectively with your children, so that this way you can be able to break those generational curses, man. Because we got to do better. As it's our responsibility. Like, we can't continue to allow this to happen and not say nothing. Like, I've almost gotten into fights for using my mouth, like, to be like, there's no need for you to treat this shit, your baby. Oh, that's my freaking kid. I understand that, but you outside in public, and I'm a mother, and I'm an educator, and I'm not like, that is not
but that's abuse.
That child is crying because he's tired. he's probably tired or he's probably sleepy. So maybe you should have left him at home with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Not bring
Or
him
just not
home
have one.
and be
Or just
snapping
not
and
have
cursing
one.
at him. Like that pisses me off. Like it really gets. That's
That's the
one
thing.
thing.
Everybody thinks that having a child is being a woman. It's not being a woman. And I have to tell you guys this. Being a woman is about so much other things besides getting married and having children. There's a lot of females that feel like they have to have children and they really don't care to have one. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there isn't.
You know, but we are frowned upon. I'm not gonna lie. From experience, sometimes when I meet men and they're like, "Why you don't have a child?" It's like, "What? Well, something must be wrong with you, or you're." I've been called selfish because I don't want
Oh
to have
my
children.
God. That's
Oh
selfish.
yeah, and it's not. It's like, okay, then I'll be selfish. I'd rather be selfish than to give in and make everybody else happy and then resent that baby when it comes in the world. I'm good. You know, I'm
You're right.
good.
Miss Enhanced by Nature said, and she's absolutely right. Also, parents need their time as well. Yes, we do. As parents, we do need our time, and
So
that's what I
structure
feel.
better.
Yep. But this is the. Let me say something. If we have badass kids, I'm gonna keep it 100. Don't nobody want to watch your badass kids. But if
And
you
if you
have
have too many
kids,
of them,
but
and
if
if
you
you have
have
too many of
kids,
them,
right? But if you have kids that are respectful, that know how to follow rules, that have structure, then it's easier for you to get the support system that you need for your mother to watch them or Titi to watch them or auntie. You know, it's easier. But when you got bad kids, don't nobody want to watch your bad kids because they don't have the same patience that you gonna have for your kids. So they're gonna be like, "Nah, I'm
right.
good. I'm not gonna watch them." So that's why it's important that we have, you know, structure and that we have our kids that are being respectful and that they know to respect their adults. You know what I mean? So that this way, when you need that break, because I used to get a break when my mother was alive when my kids were little, she would actually offer it because she saw that I was so on top of my kids. She would be like, "Ay, Nena, you need a break. You want to take a weekend? Oh, don't tell me twice. For real?
And that's
She'd be
another
like,
thing.
yeah, she'd be like, tráeme los nenes para acá. I want to stay with them for the weekend. My husband and I'd be like, all right. We would drop them off and we'd go to the Poconos and we would hang out over
Yes,
there. You know?
use the village. Use your village.
Exactly.
There's so many females that
Yeah.
just stay with their kids for years. And it's like, you need adult time. You need
Mm-hmm.
adult conversation. You need to know
Yeah.
what's going on in your social life. Not
That's,
everything is going to be working around a 5-year-old or a
let me
7-year-old.
say
I'm
something.
sorry.
My mother, unfortunately, went to be with the Lord some time ago, like 15 years ago, unfortunately. But when she passed away, then I didn't have really like a babysitter, you know, because she
Yeah.
was the only one I would trust with my kids. But then my little sister got a little older, so I would leave her here with the kids in my apartment, watching them. So me and my husband could go out for like a little date night or whatever. But
Mhm.
now my sister doesn't have my mom, and she has 3 beautiful little girls. My nieces are my world. So I take them off her hands. I give her a break. You know what I
Your
mean?
time.
But she don't got money,
Yeah.
so I give her a break. I'm like
That's
sis
nice.
slash mama.
No,
Yeah,
that's nice. And that's why I say you need to utilize the village because nobody's alone. I mean, there are people alone, and it's very unfortunate. But if you do have a village, yes, use it. Take a day off, take a weekend off, whatever you can do.
yeah. So
Some
Missy
people feel
Essence,
so guilty. Yeah. What's up?
quick question. Like we talked a little bit about your health and fitness journey. We spoke about your amazing networking skills. We spoke a little bit about
A
that
lot of things.
you a lot of things, right? That you've been fond of TV and radio since you was as young as 12 years old. That's when you realized that that's what you wanted to do. That you had a passion for it. I'm so proud of you, and you're sticking it out. And
I
but in
stuck to
addition to
it.
this, what else do you do? Because I know you're part of a board in the Bronx, right? The Bronx.
Yeah, so I do work for the city and I do social media. I do social media and events for Bronx Community Board 2 in Hunts Point. Before the break started, I was also doing Madison Square Garden. But now that's kind of, right now I'm in a transition, another
Okay.
transition, you know? So that's what I'm doing, but that's not the ending stop. And I'm actually looking for something that's going to empower my career. You
Good,
know,
good for you.
like you said, I put a lot into it and I put a lot into working too. I've been working since I was 13 years old. And I can say that none of my jobs, as good as they were, have not been industry. And I'm
Yeah.
ready to work in the industry.
Good for
So
you.
that's what I'm trying to get
But
into.
I've seen you with Angie Martinez. I've seen you with Audrey Puente, the
Yes,
neurologist,
my
Tito Puente's
girl,
daughter.
yeah.
I've seen you with like that's what I was saying. Like I love that about you because you bring known and unknown you know.
Yes.
And I love that about you. Like, that's dope as hell. Like, I
Yeah,
love that.
because we have a lot of artists out here and independent artists, no matter what craft you do out here, especially
Right.
the Bronx.
Right.
Everybody sleeps on the Bronx, but there's a lot of talent out here, including your son.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's not from the Bronx, I always consider him like home because I met him
Yeah.
here, you know,
Yeah.
Nightline and all that. So it's
Where
good to
he's
give
from, girl? Where he's from?
East Harlem.
Yeah. Boy, yo, big boy.
He's not from the BX, so you can't get me to be all riled up. So I said East Harlem. That's where
I
he's
love it.
from.
It's all good. Listen, it's all love. Harlem, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens.
It is all love. It's all
love.
New York. And East Harlem and Harlem definitely got a swag to them too. And I know there's a lot of artists in there too. So yeah, it's just, you know, it's kind of like the fascination of the celebs and then being around people that are in my neighborhood and that have talent and that need to be shown. And yeah, it's all part
But
of
I'm
it.
just saying, this is what kind of like, I can't wrap my mind around this. The fact that you're so talented and you've had all these amazing people come up to your platform,
Yeah, it's a
especially,
blessing.
right? How? I can't wrap my mind. And then you're saying that you're still not part of the industry. How? If you're so connected, like, what's the
You
missing
know,
link? What do you think
I
is the
don't
missing
know.
link?
My missing link is, I don't know. You know, I thought about that the other day because someone said, but you are on TV. And I said, yeah, but I'm not content. And I think I'll be content when I'm actually like on a station every single day, being your friend and getting paid for it and seeing my name behind me. Like,
What do you
yeah.
think is the missing link? How can we help support you? Like, what can we do as a community to help catapult you to the next level?
Referrals, if you hear any media jobs, yes, refer them to the show, like, share, go on the YouTube page, subscribe, interact, you know, when I do my weekly rants, participate. I'm sure you got a rant here and there. Everybody got a rant. It's just support. Like today I kind of thought like, do I need to put a letter together and have people vouch for me and send it off somewhere? I'm kind of getting to that point. Like, no, because
I love
sometimes
you.
if you stay humble enough, things are just going to keep passing you by. And sometimes you have to be like, yo, I'm humble, but I'm here.
Right.
You know, a lot of people may say, oh, the Princess of the Bronx, you're an advocate for the Bronx, da, da, da. But there's still times that I watch people from the Bronx that are official from the Bronx and no one's shouting me out. I'm not getting recognized. So that means my job is not done. You know what I mean? I have more work to do. And yeah, it's just pushing me more. That's all it is. That's
All
all
right,
it's
so that's
doing.
good to know because I wanted to know how
Yes.
can we support you as a community. And now
Yeah.
that I know that, you know,
Spread out the name, baby.
yeah, I'm gonna share your posts. I'm gonna join your ranks. I'm gonna
Yeah.
engage, and I want to be supportive to what you do because I believe in you and I believe in your
Thank
movement.
you.
I think
Thank you.
you're
I
an
love
awesome,
that.
phenomenal woman. So this was fun.
It
Thank you
was,
so
my love.
much.
Thank you. Thank you for
This
bringing
was,
me out of my funk today. I've been
oh,
in a Gemini funk, and it's not a bad place to be. It's just when you want to just be in your own space, you don't really want to interact with no one. You kind of like laying low. You're forcing yourself to do stuff, but you're kind of like, ugh.
I've been
I
there
just,
this whole week.
yes, I think it's the weather and the time.
Yeah,
Like, you know how today was windy and then it was cloudy and then it was sunny and cloudy? That's kind of how I felt today.
that's
Just
how
like
we feel
spurts
it.
of
Right.
shine. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, what the hell? But I'm having my glass of wine. You
Just
cheered
say
me
no.
up.
You know what I say?
And
Jesus made wine, and that's just fine.
I love it. But yes, I definitely want to thank everybody for tuning in. I met some nice people up here. Please follow if
Yeah,
you can.
we
All
got a
my
couple of
information is on
friends.
the page. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely when we finish, I'm gonna add you on this video, and I'm gonna add
Okay.
this enhanced by nature because I
Okay.
want. Actually, I'm gonna post the stuff that I purchased
We'll
from you.
connect. We'll
Yeah,
connect
we'll
behind the
connect for sure.
scenes.
But I wanted to tell you one last thing before we end
Yeah,
this
baby.
live. What was we were just talking about? Ay, se me fue el hilo. I lost my train of thought because I got distracted. But yeah, so the support, that's what you need. Because I want to see you catapult to the next level, Queen. Like I'm team
The
Miss
next, you know,
Essence.
the next thing is just me traveling. You know,
Yeah.
I've decided that I don't want to be in New York City. I don't want to live in New York City anymore. So I'm putting together a 5 to 10 year
You say
plan.
you wanna leave New York City?
Yeah, I want to
Oh
leave New
wow.
York eventually. Yeah, for personal and the Essence brand.
I hear you.
Like I was born in New York, but my heart is not here. But if I can make it in New York, I'm
You can make
staying
it
and
anywhere.
traveling back and forth. And you can absolutely. But yeah, I just want to bring the show on the road and start networking with people in LA and Atlanta and wherever I need to be to just kind of branch out and meet more professionals that are not only in New York or the Bronx. So
That's
that's where
awesome.
I'm
Yeah, New
kind of
York is
doing,
hard.
yeah.
New York is hard because there's a lot
It
of
is
competition,
hard.
and it's like
Yeah,
it
I
is
feel
hard.
like I don't really stick out here unless you like come across me and you know who I am, but I really don't stick out. You know, there's so much going on here. There's so many people here. It's all
You
the grace of God, baby. It's all the grace of God. I could
yeah.
feel, I could doubt, I could do whatever. It's all about him up there.
Yep,
So
you stick out, trust me. More than you know. You know, you're
you'd be
amazing and you're gonna
surprised. Thank you, baby.
yeah, you're gonna continue to be amazing and walk in your
Thank
purpose. And
you.
I just wanted
Thank
to
you.
encourage you and offer up to you to like
Thank you.
continue to hold on and continue
Thank
to
you.
push and do what you do. Continue to follow your passion. Continue to walk in your purpose because you're amazing at it. And
Thank you.
definitely don't give up ever. That's your
No,
baby. Don't ever give up.
I would never give up. And this media field just has so many different branches. It's like I want to do it all. You know, I want to do red carpets. I want to host the Grammys one day. Like
Yeah.
it's not only about having my show. That comes later. There's things that I want to do. I want to learn production more and be involved on sets because eventually I want to be a producer of something or have my own production company. You know, like sky's not the limit. So
That's
please,
right.
guys, don't stop. And I also want to thank Monique for putting me on this tonight. I always support you too from a distance. I loved you from the day I met you. And I want you to continue this, whether you do it full time or not. Just do it when you feel like your heart tells you to do it, because maybe that's when you need to do it its most. You know, certain things that you love to do don't have to be an everyday thing. They can be a monthly thing or whenever you get in your heart, and then do it. You know what I mean? It also, I want to thank you as well and everybody that's watching, because it also does give me clarification of where I do belong in my life by individuals like you that express their gratitude towards me. That humbles me. And it's like, what do you see that I don't? You know, because I'm the one who's doing it. And a lot of you individuals I didn't know just 3 years ago. I came on set with no friends, no nothing. And now it's like, so I just want to thank you guys for that too, because it does, people who are singers or hosts or whatever, and when people talk, it does drive us to keep doing more, because we actually sometimes don't see that. We don't feel like we're being seen. And I know B-Boy goes through a lot of that too.
Of course.
So yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for having me here, definitely.
Thank you for joining us. We love you,
Thank
Miss The
you.
Essence. We appreciate everything that you do, and I cannot wait to see you like catapult to that next
I
level.
know,
I'm gonna see
but
it.
hopefully I'll see you before. Well, of course
Huh?
you're gonna be my hype woman.
Of course, you know me.
But we need to see each other like soon, so we can go get like un trago or something, you
Yes,
know,
of course, please.
have
You know
some dinner
I'm
or
always
something.
for it. Just you have my number. Reach out. We'll talk.
It's getting
Definitely.
warmer
And if
now,
you
so we'll
start
see
the
what's going
show
on.
again, you're gonna start the show again soon. I'll be coming on
Yes,
full
yes.
circle. You know how we
I
do.
was gonna tell you that. Yes, I would definitely have you on the show, and I'll see if I can even partner you up with some girls, and we can have a discussion like we do. But guys, please support both movements. We're both amazing Latinas. We're serious about our shit, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
baby.
Good night,
Love you,
everyone.
love. We'll talk
Love
behind the
you.
scenes.
All right, sweetie. Take care. Thank you.
Bye, guys.